Hello, my people. How are you doing? How is everything going? Welcome to our online platform again. This is Royal Tutors online platform. We have a good question ahead of us to solve today. It's a 4 marks question in GCSE. Yeah, a question from GCSE, and it carries 4 marks. And I see that the question is actually quite interesting. We have the question here on the screen. But before I go ahead, have you subscribed yet? If you have not, kindly quickly click the subscription button and then click the notification button so that you can get to know when I post exciting videos like this, because I promise there are going to be a lot of questions that I'm going to solve. Yeah. If you have a question also that is related to GCSE, you can send it in the comment section for us to treat, and then we treat it for you, and then we all share the knowledge generally. Okay, so today we have this amazing question. I want you to write down this question. It's still on the screen before I take it up to share my whiteboard so that I can solve the question. The question says, question. The question says f of x equals to 2x plus 5. And then we have to show that 3f of x minus 12f inverse of x, and then we should show that it simplifies to an integer. Oh, I feel like we should just wait 1 minute while I just go through the question. We should just wait 1 minute for more people to join us so that they can also gain from this video. This question is very amazing because I remember the first time I was explaining this help inverse, one of my students actually says, are you saying we just divide f of x by 1? If you divide something by 1, sometimes you say it is the inverse. But no, it's not like that in functions. Inverse of a function is not the same thing as a function being when you divide 1 by the function. That's not the same thing. So let me just I think we have quite a number of people now. Okay, I can see. All right, so let's get started to solve the question. Okay, we're going to have that on the whiteboard, and then we get to solve it. So first thing, we note the function. The function is f of x is equal to 2x plus 5. So this is what we want to prove. We want to prove that 3f of x, then when we take away 12f inverse of x, that we're going to have an integer. And integers are just numbers that we can call, in a layman language, you can say they are positive whole numbers, negative whole numbers, and zeros. Yeah. Positive whole numbers, negative whole numbers, and zero, they are referred to as integers. So if after I simplify this and I get a whole number, whether positive or negative, or I get zero, then I can say that, yeah, truly, it simplifies to an integer. So we have to take it a step after the other. Let's start from the first one, which is 3f of x. So if you have 3f of x, this is the same thing as saying 3 multiplied by f of x. So we know that our f of x is 2x plus 5. So you have 3 multiplied by 2x plus 5. Yeah, this multiplication is simple. You have it like 3 multiplied by the first one plus 3 multiplied by the second one. I will love it if you can pen these things down, or if you can take your time to go through these things as I'm doing them, because at the end, I might need to clean off some parts so that I can have space for some of my other workings. Okay, so you have 3 times 2x, which is going to be 6x, plus 3 times 5, which is going to be 15. So we have 6x plus 15. Now we know that 3f of x is 6x plus 15. So to complete our proof, the only thing we need now is 12f inverse of x. But before we can get 12f inverse of x, we need to go ahead to find what we know as the inverse function of x. Now, how do we get inverse function of x? I'm going to go through that. So let me just clean this up while I write the actual answer up here. Don't forget what we want to prove is 3f of x minus 12f inverse of x. We want to show that it is going to give us an integer as the answer. So we've gotten 3f of x to be 6x plus 15. That is 3f of x. So we now go ahead to get 12f inverse of x. But I said before we can do that, we need to know what f inverse of x is. So to know what f inverse of x, you have a function f of x equals to 2x plus 5. All we need to do is to make x the subject of the formula. That's just it. We make x the subject of the formula. The function we get is going to be the inverse function of f. And then let's go ahead with that. To make f the subject of formula, I can just start by interchanging the sides of the equation. So since it is equal to, it's not going to change anything. I bring those on the right-hand side to the left-hand side. And then those on the left-hand side, I take them to the right-hand side. So that I can have 2x plus 5 is equal to f of x. This hasn't changed anything because we are dealing with an equation. Yeah. So it doesn't change anything. Then the next thing is to make sure that x is standing alone. And to do it, the first step is that I push 5 to this side. So I have it this way. I push 5 to this side. If I push 5 to that side, it changes from plus because whatever crosses equal to changes in sign. So if it is plus before it crosses equal to, it changes to negative. If it is multiplication, it changes to division. If it is negative, it changes to addition. If it is division, it changes to multiplication. So when plus 5 moves and comes here, it becomes minus 5. So it's going to look like this. So you have 2x is equal to f of x minus 5. Yeah. The mission or what we want to get is to ensure that x is standing alone. We want to make x the subject of the formula. If we have done that, we can now say that, oh, we have gotten the inverse function, then we can take it back to the equation. So you have the next thing, which is to make x the subject of the formula, and that is by dividing both sides by the number beside x. We divide both sides by the number beside x, that's divide both sides by 2. So you have something like this. So that 2 can divide 2. If you have 2 here is 1, 2 here is 1. 2 divides 2 to give us 1. So we can say that this is going to give us x is equal to f of x minus 5 over 2. Now, we need to write it in a way that looks like f inverse of x. So the inverse function, wherever you see f of x, you replace it with x. Wherever you see f of x, you replace it with x. It's just x minus 5 over 2. So the inverse function of f of x equals to 2x plus 5 is the same thing as x minus 5 over 2. That is the inverse function. So now we go to 12 times the inverse function. That means we are going to be multiplying this also by 12. And this should give us 6 into brackets x minus 5. So we got 6 because we can divide 2 and then divide 12 by 2. So that's going to give us 6 into brackets x minus 5. So let me clean up some parts and then let's continue with our work. I would love to clean up this part. If you have any question, even with this particular one that I've explained, you can always come to the comment section and then you can put up your question there. We definitely respond to you. We'll definitely respond to you. And if you have a question that is on GCSE, questions related to GCSE, like the SAT1 exams, also SAT2 exams, or any middle school exams, or maybe A-level questions, and you want us to treat this question, either for you personally or to treat it generally, you can always put it in the comment section also. Then you can get to follow us and then subscribe. Also, don't forget that so that you can be notified whenever we post new videos. So the second thing we need, which is 12 f inverse of x, is the same thing as 6 into bracket x minus 5. We can open up the bracket so that we have 6 times x, then 6 times minus 5, so that you have 6x minus 30. 6s minus 30. So let me clean off this guy. Okay. So this is going to be 3f of x. Don't forget that's what we want to simplify. So it's going to be 3f of x is 6x plus 15 minus 12f inverse of x is 6x minus 30. So that we have 6x plus 15. Then minus should enter this bracket, becomes minus 6x. Minus times minus here is going to give us plus. So that minus is going to change this negative to positive to have plus 30. So looking at it, we can group them now. Those that look alike, we pack them together. So those that have variable, pack them together. Those that are constant that do not have variable, pack them together. So you have 6x minus 6x, then you have plus 15 plus 30, and this is going to be 6x minus 6x is 0. Why this is 45, so we've gotten the answer to be 45. Oh yeah, we've successfully shown that this expression that we have here simplifies to an integer. So if you look at it, we do not have any variable there. We have a whole number, which is 45, a positive whole number, and that positive whole number is an integer. Do you like what we have done? Do you enjoy it? Is it educative? Just let me know in the comment section. Let me know. Type it there now. Yeah, and we still have many more questions to solve. And don't forget, like the video, subscribe to our channel. You can follow us also. And then you can also be linked to our WhatsApp. You can book a session with us for your tutorials. I'm going to see you next time. Bye.